Hello and welcome to the Tips with Tony podcast. I'm Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time. I am so excited for you to listen to this next interview. I have virtually in front of me Jenn Kennedy. She is a amazing person inside and out and a really great friend of mine, and her energy is contagious. You will be super inspired, super motivated by listening to this episode. So Jenn, welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so happy to be here. It's funny. The second that your face popped up on my computer, I just instantly got so happy. I was like,
Oh.
yeah, it's been too long. So
Oh,
grateful to be
I
here.
feel the same way about you. Jenn and I used to have the same business coach. She is killing it in her business. She's
Mm.
transitioned from a nutrition coach to now she'll tell you all about what she does. And I wanted to have her on here because she really, truly just embodies what I preach, which is, figure out what you want in life and go after it. And
Mm-hmm.
I believe that you don't need to, but I do believe that having a healthy relationship with food and,
Yeah.
figuring out, your relationship with your body is a foundational step to what Jenn is doing. And I think
Yeah.
that she can agree. But the purpose is because very often when someone comes to work with me and we kind of get on a discovery call and we talk about, what could you do with all of that headspace if it's not obsessing over your food?
Mm-hmm.
It can cause a lot of fear. It can cause also a lot of like, I don't even know, because I've only
Yeah.
ever known
Yeah.
like obsessing over food. And
Mm-hmm.
so but once you can break through that, there is like the world is your oyster. Like there's so
Yeah.
many things you can do, and that's your superpower in helping people
Yeah.
to understand and figure out what that is. So I'm just like beyond excited for people to hear from you. So I know that was like a really lengthy way of just introducing what we're going to talk about, but I want you, before we even do that, to just introduce yourself by saying who you are, what you do, and most importantly, why you do what you do.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You're so right. And you and I could have just had well, we will have a conversation about all of the things that you just said, because I really do believe that we are on this planet. I believe success is our birthright. And I believe that we are here, every single one of us, regardless of our past, to really live in our power. And the power that I focus on is a bit of your personal power, but it's really your financial and your entrepreneurial power. And like you said, you can't live in that power and live the life that you dream of in that power if you are really caught up in your relationship with food or your relationship with money or your relationship with anything in the external. So
Mhm.
what I get to do is I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a coach, I'm a CEO, I'm a business owner, whatever you want to call it. But what I get to do is I get to teach people how to live the life that they dream of. And I get to teach people how to make more impact and how to make more money as a result. And in order to make more impact and make more money as a result, you have to make sure that your money mindset is set for success. So I make sure that I teach people how to set that money mindset for success. And I'm really obsessed with teaching, because I think that teaching and then taking action based on that teaching is what changes the world. And
Mhm.
so teaching is my superpower. It's my jam. I was a teacher for 8 years. I was an elementary teacher. Everyone always asks what grade. I was a kindergarten teacher, a first grade teacher, a special ed research room teacher, an interventionist. And it wasn't enough. And my gut always told me that I was meant for more, that I was meant for more impact. And at that time I didn't know what that meant. So I was just like, well, I'll be a principal. Like, that's just the only way in which I knew how to help more people. And so I
Mhm.
went back to school. I got 2 postgraduate degrees in leadership and administration, and I was working my way up the ladder. And I still wasn't fulfilled, and I still wasn't happy. And I was like, this isn't it. And I would go home and I would tell my husband, like, Pat, I can't explain it, but just my gut is telling me there's something more. And he was like, well, maybe it's a superintendent, or maybe it's, a director. And I was like, no, trust me, that's not it.
Mhm.
And then I found coaching, and how I found nutrition coaching, which is where Tony and I met, is that I started just helping people outside of the traditional way of helping people and teaching people, which was in a classroom. And I started teaching women how to have a stronger relationship with food. I started teaching women at the core level how to stop binging, which was tapping into their power and understanding why they were binging. And I started helping people understand food in their body and then transform from within. And then all of a sudden, I was making money and I had this business and I was living this life of financial freedom, which is a huge value of mine. And I was having a lot of fun. And so I left teaching and just became the nutrition coach. Did that for a year and a half. And then guess what happened? The same thing was that I started teaching people how to thrive in their business. I started teaching people how to build the life that that they love and then fit the business into their life and not the other way around. And I started to just help people live that life of becoming a really strong, powerful entrepreneur. And so that's what I get to do now. And then you said, why do I do it? Is because it really is like, it's my belief. It's just like you, like Tony, everything that you do, your belief is that people can have a strong relationship with food and can live in their confidence. And I feel the same thing with money and with business. I think that everyone has the ability to live in their power. And so I wake up every day with that belief, and I'm really on the mission to help them live in that power and live the life that they dream of through a business that's rooted in impact, and to have a lot of fun, because as adults, like, we do not have enough fun. And so I believe in mindset and just having fun, and that's really like the core of our success. And so that's what I get to do, and it's the most amazing, fulfilling thing ever.
Yeah, it's so awesome. It's so so awesome. I love you talking about your journey and me being able to kind of watch it.
Yeah.
It's cool. Like, she's not lying, guys. Like like I know her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's real. It's really really real. And I think, there's probably there's so many areas in which we can go with that, but I really do want to stay focused on kind of like this belief in yourself and the
Yeah.
mindset. Like, what kind of work did you need to do to go from that place? Because it's kind of like, I think a lot of people have those thoughts, right? They might
Mm,
be in the corporate world and they think the next step is just, you know get the raise, get the promotion, become a leader, and that's all great, right? But
mhm.
then there's those other people that also have that, but they also have this pull, like what you had,
Yeah.
right? So what did you like, what really helped you kind of step into that? Like, so what are maybe more some foundational things for someone to do if they have the thought, but they're afraid, right?
Mm,
And they almost feel like it's impossible. Like, honestly, I can already hear people like listening to this and being like, well, that works for her, but that's just not my life. Like, that just
mm.
can't be for me.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone who's kind of limiting themselves with that fear?
I love it. You guys, fear's crazy. Fear's wild. So I like to help people understand what fear. And everything I'm teaching is like, this is what I've gone through now many times, because with every new level or every new goal, this all pops up again.
Mm-hmm.
So our brain, it's our brain's number one job is to keep us safe and to keep us alive, right? And to keep us honestly comfortable and content. So even if you're miserable in your job, it's still comfortable and it's content. Even if you're miserable in your body, or you are miserable with your relationship with food, it's still comfortable to
Mm-hmm.
stay there, because change is hard and change is different. So change is fear.
Right.
And so when anything challenges out like the norm of what we're living in our life, it registers in our brain as fear. And so what happens? It's doubt, uncertainty, and our brain's really good at what it does. And it'll pull back every experience from your past that will support that fear.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I'm just not meant to do that. It'll pull back the time when you were 14 and you stood up to say something and you couldn't. And so you just don't think that you're meant to be a leader. It'll pull back the time that your mom told you, honey, just don't be that loud. Just be polite. Okay. Don't be that loud. It'll pull back the time that you were in college and you wanted to join a sorority, but you were too afraid to. Whatever it is, your brain will find the proof and it'll go through the little filing cabinet and find that. And we have to just know that that's its job. But we also have to make the choice that we're not going to stay there. I really do believe men, women, I think women, it's a little bit stronger because we have the ability to have children. So I really think our intuition is stronger, but we all have an intuition. We all have a heart and a gut response. And it really is our second brain in so many different ways. And I think that when we can tap into and make decisions from our heart and our gut, and then say, I know, brain, I know that this is a big, scary decision. I know that you're going to try to keep me safe. However, this is what I'm going to do because this is what I believe I'm meant to do. I think that's how we can really move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And then with that is like doing the work of like, okay, this isn't who I want to be. I always say, what do you want to do? Who do you want to become? So if you want to lose 20 pounds, or if you want to make a new career switch, or you want to build your own business, who do you need to become? You need to become someone that doesn't listen to the fear and actually walks into the fear because your gut and your heart are telling you that's who you're meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to really do that. And it's hard because we don't trust our heart and our gut because we're always told not to. We're always told to just do what you're supposed to do what the societal norms tell you to, just follow these rules and you'll get there. And so I really have gone, this is where I started. And this is what I do now. This is what I teach is okay. Here's the fear. It pops up in your head, but what is your heart and your gut telling you? Your heart and your gut is telling you to do it. Go listen to it. Every decision I've made has been with my heart and my gut. My brain has tried to stop me over and over and over and over. And I'll literally say, thank you for trying to keep me safe. However, this is what I need to do to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Because growth and change and evolution and transformation, it doesn't happen when we're safe and we're comfortable. It can't. It cannot happen in that space. And so it's allowing yourself and getting the courage to get in that uncomfortable space, then getting the help that you need so that you can transform, and just know the fear is always going to be there. It's always going to be there.
Yeah. I think that's super helpful because I think we always want to be like fixers, and
Yeah.
we like don't want to be uncomfortable. Like we just like try to make things better, but we don't realize that sometimes that discomfort is actually trying to tell us something,
Yeah.
and trying to make it better is actually like keeping you away from where you're like meant to be or where you're supposed to be going.
Yeah. Yeah, I always say like feelings and emotions, they're like what feelings and emotions are, they're just messages, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a message that you're changing, it's a message that you're evolving, it's a message that you're stuck, it's a message that you're not where you're supposed to be. So as
Mm-hmm.
much as I loved being a teacher, I loved being a teacher. I also didn't love being buried in student loans. I didn't love that I was living paycheck to paycheck, and I didn't love that I had to work a 9 to 5 and not live my life of freedom, right? I loved what I did. I loved every second of it. So I had to realize, okay, like I'm not fulfilled. Like I'm not happy. Like I hate to say that, but I'm really not happy. I'm kind of sad. Like the winter blues are real. Like oh, I don't love this life. And I had to realize that that was a message telling me it's because you're meant for something else. You're
Yeah.
not meant to fit into this corporate box or this
Mm-hmm.
career box. You're meant for something else. And then that does take courage to then listen to that and then take the action to guide you to the next place that you're meant to be at.
Yeah, so let's talk about that because I think what happens is most people might get those messages and then they get overwhelmed, right? And
Mm,
then they
hmm.
pause, right? So what type of actions would you recommend? I know this is kind of vague because it kind of depends on like which kind of area you're working towards, but I guess like what are the types of actions? Like I know you did a lot of like mindset stuff when it comes to your relationship with money because
Yeah,
here's the thing, we will self-sabotage when we say we want something, but then we'll find ways, and I think it's probably our brain keeping us safe, right?
for
To like
sure.
make it not happen. And
Yeah.
so it really does come from like we need to change the way that we even view food or we even view money. So like
Yeah.
what kind of actions would someone take, or what actions did you take, or maybe like mindset strategies? You gave a really great example of like just recognizing
Yeah.
what your brain says and just
Hmm.
honoring that, but then like listening to your gut sort of a thing. But are there any like specific maybe like books that you've read
Hmm.
or daily practices that you have
Yeah. Oh
that
gosh.
help
Yeah.
bring you to where you
For
are
sure.
now? I'm sure it
Yeah.
took some time.
Yeah, it took some time. But here's the thing, like Tony, you and I met what, 2 years ago? And 2 years ago, you and I were both working jobs that we
Yep.
didn't love.
Yeah.
And we both
It's
were making
crazy.
like no money in our
Yeah.
in our businesses. Like literally
Yeah.
no money in our
It's
businesses.
crazy. I just realized,
Right?
I think like honestly, I got a memory. It was 2 years ago was it 2 years or 3 years? No, 2 years.
No, 2018 in
I know
November.
that's yeah, November. We
Yeah.
were in Arizona for a
Yes.
mastermind. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And I
Wow.
remember I like you, this is the power of having support,
Yeah.
is I remember we went around and you set your revenue goal, what you wanted to achieve. And I looked at mine and I was like, well, if Tony's gonna say that, I'm gonna say that too. Cause like I can do it. Like literally like healthy, like, okay, you've got that. I want to do that too.
Yeah.
So the reason why I said that is you guys never ever like this sounds, I love that you said overwhelmed, Tony, because it's overwhelming. It is,
Yeah.
because change is overwhelming. You're not only changing like the color of your walls, you're changing your whole entire house. You're remodeling your whole house. And so
Mhm.
know that Rome wasn't built in a day and that the work truly just gets to go on because we're always changing and evolving. But never ever over or underestimate the amount of time that it will take you.
Mhm.
Just honor your path. Like honor your path. There's no such thing as what's realistic. What can I expect? It's just
Mhm.
everyone is different and we're all going on a different journey. So look at the overwhelm, like, wow, I get like shift your relationship with it. I get to do a lot of this work. I get to do this work. That's what I always say. Anytime I'm overwhelmed, I'm like, thank you. I get to do this work. I'm dedicated to doing this work. But the actions are a couple different things. First one is understanding why that you're in that place to begin with. So I think that with everything changing moving forward, we do have to look backward to say, okay, how did I get here? And then what am I going to shift moving forward? So when I was building my business, before I started my business, I was horrible with money. I was always in credit card debt, like 10, 15, $12,000 in credit card debt. And I started making money and I was like, amazing. I'm just going to make more money. This is great. And then what ended up happening? I was just spending all of the money. And so
Mm-hmm.
I stopped at that point in time. And I was like, well, I want to be somebody. My goal is I want to create, I don't want to just be able to make money. I want to create wealth. I want to create generational wealth for our family. I want to teach other people to do the same because that's really how you actually transform. And so these are the things that I want to do moving forward. And this is overwhelming, you guys. I'm like, oh my God, I have to look at my bank accounts once a week. Like, that's a lot of work. Like, I got to get real with my spending. I got to, like, what? And so I had to, like, I made a plan moving forward, but I couldn't do that without looking backwards and say, well, why are you always in debt?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have a bad relationship with money that you just spend it and you can't keep it? Why can't you respect it? Why can't you take ownership of it? And I literally had to go back to like, that's how I was raised. That's how my mom showed me. My dad told me. So, number one is going back and understanding what's called your past conditioning, but why you are the way that you are and who affected you in your life. And then asking yourself this very important question of what do I want to let go of? And then what do I want to keep from that? So I let go of the fact that my dad just blew money. I let go of the fact that my mom was like always like, Jen, we have to win the lottery if we're going to do anything. Like I had to let go of that stuff. And then I had to ask myself, who does Jen want to become? So in order to reach those goals, who do I want to become? And then I had actions every day to support that. So I knew who I wanted to become. I knew that every single Friday I needed to have a bank account, like a date with my bank account. I needed to do money affirmations, like legit. So affirmations are just like statements that you say out loud that's going to take you to the person that you're going to become because you're the way that you speak drives your actions. So the whole thing with that is that your thoughts drive your actions and your actions drive your results. So I do daily affirmations to change my thoughts, which then change my results. So I would say things like, I'm a money magnet, money effortlessly flows my way. I'm $1 million woman. I respect money. I love money and money loves me. I just truly I appreciate money so much. I would say these things every day. And then I would start aligning myself with the things that I needed to do to get there. But then also that's all the inner work. The whole other piece is I surrounded myself with people who could help me. So I
Mm-hmm.
hired people who could help me. I had coaches, I had mentors, I had therapists, I had peers that could help support me because we're tribal people. We're not meant to do this stuff alone.
Right.
And so with all of that, like that's how you change. And I think that with all of those things, like that's how you make massive transformation, not just like I saved my money this month. Like that's how you actually transform yourself in a very short
Mm-hmm.
amount of time.
Yeah, and what you said is really important. You have to spend, there's a saying, right? You have to spend money to make money, which
Yes.
is true, but you also have to change your mindset around it, right?
Yeah.
So you technically didn't have the money to invest in coaches, right?
No.
But right, like me
No
either.
savings account.
I literally went in more debt before my
Yes.
business
Yes.
rather than like
100%.
getting out of debt first, which a lot of people, you'll hear that though. That's actually, we should probably go there, right? A lot of people will
Yeah.
say like, I can't invest in this coach until I'm out of debt, when it's not even financial, right? So it could be like, I can't work with a dietitian until I get out of debt, right? Or I can work with this trainer until whatever it is, you know?
Hmm.
And that's like the thing that they don't even realize that could be the one thing that actually helps them get out of debt, right? So
Yeah.
I think that would be really interesting to hear from the listeners for you where you like didn't have the money but chose to invest in
Yeah.
certain places to kind of get it back and some.
Yeah. I'll never forget the time that I invested in, well, number one, my first nutrition coach didn't have the money. My husband and I, it was probably about a year before we got engaged. Horrible relationship with food. I overcame an eating disorder, like doing inner work and doing mindset work. No therapist, no anything. Like I just did it. So that I was like, okay, well, I did that. I can lose weight on my own. Like I got this. I'm fine. It's like I know the rules, you know. And then when I hired my first nutrition coach for like, a couple $100 a month, I did not have the money. I was making like 40 grand as a teacher. I did not have the money. But
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing is that I knew that I was meant to live like I knew I wasn't meant to get a venti Starbucks coffee every day at noon at the age of 23. Like I knew that I wasn't meant to wake up again on Saturday being like, oh my gosh, why do I feel this way? Like I knew I wasn't meant to, I was too young. I wasn't meant to do that. I saw people who
Right.
were doing something different. So I hired her because I knew that I was meant for more. Like I did. I knew that I deserved more with my physical body.
Mm-hmm.
I also know that if I'm thriving in my physical body, watch out. I can thrive in all those other areas of my life. So I that was my first investment. The second one was our business coach that you and I met at. And guys, I did not have close to $10,000 to invest in this coach. I did not have it. Yet my gut, again, not my head, my head told me run, get out of debt, make more money. You can do it alone, listen to podcasts, right? Like read the articles, listen to podcasts. But my gut told me I needed it. And I did it. You guys, I didn't have the money. And yet my mind was, I have to get out of student loan debt. We have to buy a house. We have to do all of these things before, because that's what society tells us. And then I was like, no, because by making these investments, this is going to help me do all of that.
Right.
And I always say, thank God that I did, because I worked with that coach for 9 months and I went from $1,200 a month to $12,000 a month. And it's what allowed me to leave my teaching job.
Yeah.
And then now live this life of massive freedom with my
Mhm.
husband working in my business and all of those things. And so I think I think that's crazy when people are like, I can't do this until I blank, because you can't afford not to. And when you invest in yourself, if you want to start a business and you invest in a business coach, you do make money in your business. But if you're someone, you're like, I don't want a business, I just want to hire a nutrition coach. If you are overweight, feeling horrible, low energy, and you're not living in your confidence and power, how does that affect you at work? How does that
Mhm.
affect your ability to go get a better job? How does that affect your relationships? What opportunities are you not able to say yes to because you're exhausted and overweight and unhappy?
Mhm.
Tell
Mhm.
me that that investment in a registered dietitian is not going to bring up so much more opportunity that might be financially or well beyond your wildest dreams that make you successful. It will. It 100% will, because you're transforming. And
Yeah.
so I think it's crazy to think
Yeah.
that you have to wait.
Well, like what's also is crazy is like how when the first thing that what popped up, and this is just me trying to like be the listener right now because I want
Yeah.
them to be getting the most value out of this. So when you said that you didn't have close to $10,000 to invest in a business coach, I know the listener is like $10,000 to invest in it. They're literally thinking you're insane, right?
Oh, I was.
But on it, but we all I've done it, guys. I've done it too. But like more than that. Actually,
Yeah.
I just made it 3 times that investment for a business
Yes.
and I'm
Yeah.
proud of it. And I'm
Yeah.
excited because I believe in myself and I know I'm meant for more. And when you know that, then honestly, and you have a good relationship with money, it really you're not going to spend that much on. Listen, I could put that money to it. This is where I was getting to my point. I could
Yeah.
put that money to like a down payment on a home, and this is not, if you want to own a home, if you can own a home, that's great, but I could also like paid for a year of college. But like people literally pay 30, 40, 50,000 dollars a year
Yeah.
for 4 years in a row, sometimes five, to
Hmm.
become whatever they want to be, which is awesome. And if it's worth it for you, that's great. But when now it comes to kind of deciding what you want for you,
Yeah.
for honestly, and for like a nutrition coach or a personal trainer or whatever it is significantly less than $10,000,
For sure.
for
Yeah.
6 months or a year, whatever it is. But so the point I'm trying to make is that like we somehow justify things like, which is fine, like college and a house and a home and a weddings are
Yeah.
like 30,
Oh my
40
God.
grand, you know
Weddings.
all like, but like that, those are those things that are, you know they do they do provide like they are a long-term investment, right? You have the memories, you'll like have it's all worth. I'm not saying it's not worth it, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is that like when it comes to like your health, your body, or your job, or your career, your happiness, your fulfillment, somehow it's a ridiculous amount of money
Yep.
for say like $500 a month for a nutrition coach or whatever, or
Yeah.
$1,000 for to hire someone who's going to help you get from A to B. Like
Yeah.
somehow it's ridiculous, but meanwhile to go on a vacation for like $2,000-$3,000 for the family for like a one, for a few days to like come back and not feel like your best. Like I don't know, like
Yeah.
that's kind of like, I just went on a little bit of a rant, but
Yeah.
that's where I think it's really important for when you're really clear on like what you want, what's important to you, your values, like it will start to make more sense to you. So just for that
Yeah.
person that's like, this makes zero sense to me.
Well, yeah, well, because there's a,
Like,
there's a difference between spending and investing, and society tells us that it's acceptable and it's okay to spend. Society tells us that it's
mm,
okay. It's okay to
mm,
spend 5 grand on Black Friday weekend because you got to get Christmas gifts, or
mm-hmm,
like because you need that new TV or you need
mm,
that new laptop, whatever it is. Society says it's okay. to spend. Oh,
Mm.
well, I went, oh, so and so, I'm fighting with my husband. So, yeah, I went on a shopping spree. I got these shoes, I got this, like, I got all these things. It's acceptable to spend
Mhm.
$500,000, whatever it is, in things
Mhm.
to do what, right? To give us what? Nothing. What's not acceptable by society, what's not the standard norm is investing in yourself to grow and to evolve and to transform.
Mhm.
That's when it becomes selfish.
Mhm.
That's when it becomes a waste of money. That becomes, why would you give her that money?
Mhm.
So what are you going to get more of? Are you going to get truly happiness, fulfillment, like true, genuine joy, bliss, transformation, and in whatever nutrition coach, business coach, whatever it is, by spending or by investing?
Mm.
And so what it is it's actually an internal shift, which is a huge relationship with money of, look at this money. Let's say that I have 10 grand in front of me in savings. Do I want to keep it in savings for a rainy day? Do I want to spend some of it on Black Friday Christmas gifts? Do I want to spend some of it on the fact that we need a new deck, using the word need very loosely there? Or do I want to invest some of this in myself so that I can grow into the best version of myself and actually live in my confidence and in my power?
Mm.
And unfortunately, a lot of people, what stops them from investing, besides societal norms telling us that it's weird and it's selfish or whatever it is, once you get past that, then you just like, you're an alien and people just like, what, that's fine. Once you get past that, you're good. But like with the investing, the other thing that holds people back is they actually don't 100% believe in themselves because they've failed so many times. Like
Mm.
I failed many times at trying to start a business and trying to like make money in my business before I hired a business coach. I
Mm.
failed since I was a child in weight loss before I hired my nutrition coach. But there was something that sparked in within me of a belief within myself, which was a lot of my self-development work. And I was like, wait, I can do this. I know that I can do this. My gut and my heart are telling me I can do this. So a
Mhm.
huge thing with that investment is I think a lot of what holds people back is that they're scared.
Mhm.
Like I get it. It's scary to change. And we talked about that
Mhm.
earlier. However, why are you here on this planet? Are you here to just live this mediocre life? Are you here to just like skate on by and be tired more times than you're not? Or you're here to live the life that you dream of and live in your power?
Mhm.
And once you know that you're here to live in your power, you can make three times the investment like Tony did. Like I always say, I've invested almost $70,000 in my business in just two-ish years being in business. Why? Because I believe in myself. I believe in my mission. I believe in the things that I do. And it always comes back.
Mhm.
So I think
Mhm.
that's the huge shift that people get to make. Not that you have to make, you get to make it if you choose to make it.
Mhm.
And once you make that shift, like watch out. Like
Yeah,
sky, like really sky's the limit.
it's so
Sky's the absolute
exciting.
limit for you.
It's so exciting. This is so good. This is so good. Before we kind of wrap up, can you? I want to. Can you share that your little money dance, your money magnet?
Love my money dance.
Can you
Yes, I can. I
just
can.
share
I
like
will.
your little ritual?
Yeah.
Because I feel
Why?
like why not? Like
Yeah.
and also, so are you giving like your clients like mugs now?
Oh yeah.
Did I
Money
see? I think I
magnets,
that's
money
so
magnet
cute.
mugs,
I
money
love it.
trees.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Everything
I
is
love it.
money. So
But just share that
I,
little like ritual because
yeah.
I think I don't know, people might start using it and I think it'll help them. And
Oh, it's
fun.
amazing. So
Yeah.
the reason behind it, right, is that guys, like I really do love money. Money loves me. I say it all the time. I love money. Money loves me. I used to think growing up, I was like, well, oh, we growing up, we couldn't. My parents divorced really young, and my dad was an alcoholic up until 10 years ago or 11 years ago until he got sober. And child support was something that never really regularly came in. So I was
Mm.
constantly being told, like, honey, we can't do that. We can't afford that. I wanted to be a cheerleader so bad, never could because my mom was always like, do you know how much those uniforms cost? And I was like, no, I just want to be the cheery one.
Mm.
And so money, we couldn't go out to eat. I never went on a vacation. And, that was just my life. And so I realized that my mom used to always say, Jen, honey, we're just not, we're not those types of people. We just don't have the money. We're not, you weren't born with money, sweetheart. I was told I had the belief that like, you just were born into, you just had it or you didn't, you just had it or you didn't.
Mm.
And so I grew up with the belief that I just wasn't meant for a lot of things. I just was never going to be that lucky. And I had to marry rich or I had to just like work up a ladder and just like try to just head down, make money. And so now I realize that none of that is true. And we all have the ability to do whatever we want with that sky really is the limit. And we have the ability to live in our power and to live the life that we dream of. And with that, I really do love money. I really do appreciate money. And so I believe that we should celebrate money always. And so, and with that, if you can't celebrate and honor and respect and appreciate a little bit, you're not going to be able to honor and respect and appreciate a lot. It's just
Mm.
like when people lose weight. Like when I lose 20 pounds, I'll be happy. When I make $100,000, I'll be happy. It's like, no, you will not. We have to
Mm-hmm.
bring this money and the celebration in. Now, with that, there's also law of attraction, which is it's just a very real thing that we attract what we are. And so if I'm going to celebrate and if I'm going to raise my energy and I'm going to celebrate money a little bit, a lot of it, then what's going to happen? More is going to flow my way, which is why I say I love money. Money loves me. Money effortlessly flows my way because I celebrate the hell out of it always. And then I say I'm a money magnet because with that, and then I lead with impact. I'm literally just a walking money magnet. So I always celebrate money. So if I find a penny on the ground or if I get a check for $3,500, which literally just happened to the mail out of nowhere, I'm like, where'd this come from? My mom's like, I don't know, some like thing from the house sale. I'm like, okay, thank you. Like money just randomly comes our way. Like we just got a check for $75. We got another one for like 170 last week. Like just money literally, like I'm like, what? Well, here's money. Um, so because of that, well, the reason this is what I do to make that happen. I literally have a money magnet dance. So if I find a penny on the ground or a check, or I have an amazing client that signs on, I literally dance and sing that I'm a money magnet. I'm a money magnet. And to the point where like, so like, and I'll jump up and down. My husband will join. He'll be like, "Who's a money magnet? You're a money magnet." And my dog will sing and like my dog will dance and bark. And we seriously run and sing around. You guys, I've done this like in a parking lot of the grocery store when I find we were flying out to California. We were flying first class in like when the plane lands, obviously the plane is like pointed downward. And so things can swirl into your life. And change was in front of me and I was like, babe, and in the middle of first class, I'm like, I'm a money magnet. And everyone's looking, this is pre-COVID. So like this was safe to do then. People are
Oh.
looking at me like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I'm going to unapologetically celebrate money always because the more
Mhm.
that I celebrate, the more comes in my life. But honestly, I appreciate it. I love it. And I respect it so much. And
Yeah.
when you do that, not only do I have the ability to be a money magnet and make a lot of money, but I respect it. I don't walk into Target and spend $500 on random stuff that doesn't add to my life. Like I don't need a new blow
Preach,
dryer.
girl.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
don't need
Target
new
can suck you in.
it does. It does. It really
Feel
does.
attacked.
Yeah, I'm like, I know, I'm upset. But like I don't do it anymore, right? Because I
Yeah.
appreciate my money and I'm really,
Yeah.
really, really, really respectful of it. So
Yeah.
that's what I do. And I honor anyone to do it and tag me if you end up doing it because I always, I
Yeah.
always, I always love to see it.
I love it. And you can create your own version of that. So I do every time I
Oh
sign on a new
yeah.
client or something like exciting comes my way, or if I find like a penny on the floor or whatever, similar as you, I don't do money. I love your money magnet thing. My version is my happy dance. And you've seen it. Like you guys, if you follow me on
Yeah.
Instagram, I do my happy dance when someone invests in themselves because I'm
Yeah.
celebrating it. It's not that it's coming to me like, yes, that's exciting, but really it's no, it's like that this person is investing in themselves. We're changing the
Yes.
paradigm. We're changing the norm of I love what you said. Society it says that it's okay to spend money but not invest your money. Like
Yeah.
that is so true. And so it needs to be celebrated. And yeah,
Hmm.
you can find your own way. Although if you do the money dance and
Yeah.
you say I'm your money magnet, definitely tag Jenn on social.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Everyone has their own like people, my clients who are into like the rap, like the rap. Like they've got like this one money like there's a money song apparently a rap song and they'll like play it. We've got like there's so many, but just do it.
Yeah.
The thing that matters most is that you have fun with it and you
Yeah.
actually genuinely celebrate and you raise your vibrations and you raise your excitement around it and that's the reason why we do it.
Yeah, awesome. Oh,
I
this is
love it.
so good. All right, well, this is like a perfect way to segue. Unless there's anything else that you want to add, is there anything last minute you want to add before we talk about where people can find you?
No, honestly, you guys, it really is just that it all starts with your belief. Like it is like your core belief, your thoughts and your beliefs are going to drive your actions, which are going to drive your reality every single
Hmm.
day. And so if you can go back and get the support and do the work around changing those beliefs, whether it's your body, your financial situation, you being a business owner, whatever it is, if you can go back to that, you're going to change your life. You're going to change your life.
Yeah.
So start with that. And if you need help, like go find a coach, go find a mentor. Like Tony and I, before we recorded, that's exactly what we said of like, yep. So then now it's time that I need some more support. So I hired a new coach or so I did this. And
Mhm.
and that's because it's our norm. It's our societal norm to do that, but make it yours.
Yeah, love that. All right. Well, so how could people get in touch with you if they want to tag you, message you, ask
Yeah.
questions, work with
Yeah.
you? How do people find you?
I am always on Instagram. Like truly, Instagram's the best place. You could email me, but I'll get back to you way sooner on Instagram. So I'm the Jen Kennedy with two N's, and I'm there all the time. So if you literally have followed along because you heard this podcast, shoot me a message and tell me that hey, I heard you on Tony's podcast, and so that you and I can connect because I think Instagram is the platform. Like it's a place where we all can connect, and especially in COVID world, we can't connect in person right now. And
Mhm.
so I always love connecting there. So just shoot me a DM.
Awesome. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely go give Jen a follow. Definitely take a screenshot of this episode and tag us on your story. Let us know your biggest takeaway. If you're not subscribed to the Tips of Tony podcast, definitely hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for being here, Jen. It's been an
Thank
absolute
you.
pleasure. Thank you guys for listening. As always, I'm Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time.